You will be rewarded for the tears you cried in silence. Once upon a time, you was a very scared individual, cornered somewhere in a little box. Maybe it was a workplace. You was given extra loads. Maybe you wasn't even paid, or even sometimes you was underpaid. You have been in a broken family, dysfunctional family matrix. You have been scapegoated all your entire life. You was naive. Yes, you was wounded and broken, traumatized. You didn't know what was happening. And then one day, you started asking the right questions. You was like, I have been experiencing this thing for a long time. You needed answers. What is it? What is the problem? Where was the problem even coming from? And then one day, you saw it. You understood what was happening. You was like, okay, I get it. And you see, something very phenomenal happens when the empath finally snaps. When you snap, you gain some abilities to see beyond the veil. It is not pretty, okay? You don't think so that you're going to wake up and you think that it's all peaches and cream, it's horrible. It's a very horrible experience. It's a very horrible sight to figure out that the people that was meant to look after you, they have been the same people responsible for your abuse. So what did you do? You removed your energy and you took back your power. Because now you're realizing everything that you have lost over the years. Your health, your finances. Some of you could have even lost your homes, your self-esteem, your inheritance. And you're realizing so much has been taken from you. Now you're thinking, what am I going to do? And then you decide to embark on a healing journey. How do I know these things? I have lived the experience. You see, many years ago, I used to play very small. I used to be the guy who wouldn't say anything. I would watch, observe, I wouldn't say anything. In some cases, I was afraid to speak. In some cases, I was thinking, okay, maybe when I say this, nobody's going to listen. But that is because I was simply living around the wrong individuals. How is it a coincidence that the moment you awaken after abuse, you start to see all these doors opening up for you? You are experiencing your health become better. Your finances become better. You are starting to attract very beautiful people. Your whole life is starting to shift. Do you know why? Because you have been dragged so low and have been forced to live in an inverted reality. You have actually been living on a timeline that wasn't even for you. Now you're thinking that it's not a coincidence because you can compare your life, what it was like so many years ago. But after removing the parasites, you are now starting to see how your life is starting to take off. I'm not saying it happens in 24 hours. There's some work that has got to be done. It happens over time. But eventually, you can start to feel the difference. Most of the times you are around people that want to see you hurting. Some of you guys have been around narcissistic people, and while you were crying, afraid, and terrified, they was making pictures and videos of you. Now, finally, you know what the problem is. You eventually remember who you are. You now remember that there was a version of you that made people very comfortable. There was a version of you that people wanted to see. It was working for them, but it wasn't working for you. You have lost so much. You cried so many tears in silence. There was times when you couldn't speak to anyone. There was times when you wanted to explain some things. People just simply laughed at you and mocked you. I can promise you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. You will be surprised as to how far your life can go the very moment you leave or you get out the parasites. A lot of times your life fails to move on or to move forward simply because you have so many people that are siphoning your energy. You have so many people who are banking on your ignorance. You have a lot of people that even wanted your destiny. At some cases, you could even have lost your destiny, or you could have had your destiny swapped. Now, you got tired of crying. You was like, I'm tired of crying on my own. I'm tired of sobbing. I'm tired of coiling. I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of all these low vibrational energies. Then you chose to do the work on yourself. That is when everything changed. Step by step, you started claiming back your power. Because you see, one of the things that happens when you remove the parasites and you start doing the healing work on yourself, you start to get your power back. Everything is inside you. But the enemy didn't want you to know that the power has always been inside of you. The people that you have put all your trust to take the lead, whether that was a narcissistic parent, you allowed them to make the decisions. You was always there seeking for validation. You always wanted to raise your hand before you could speak. You're now realizing it was all a facade. You never really needed validation. You never really needed anybody's approval. You now understand you are the one that is meant to approve yourself. You are choosing yourself. You are deciding where it is you want to go, compared to where your parents wanted you to go. You're choosing your own direction. That is exactly when your life starts to take off. There comes a moment in life when you have to choose yourself. You have to sit down with yourself, understand the wounded version of you. You start working on it, nurturing yourself, and eventually improve your life to become the healed version of you. The healed version of you attracts better. The healed version of you attracts beautiful things. The healed version of you no longer allows parasites to feed off of your body, whether physically or spiritually or energetically, or even sometimes financially. So whatever you have, you hold it for yourself. Whatever you have, you know when to share it. You actually know when to say no. You also know when to move. The healed version of you does not compromise. The healed version of you understands the red flags. The healed version of you understands you are calling back everything the enemy took from you. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, when you ever choose to step into that healed version of you, God is going to reward you abundantly because you have chosen to take a step to heal. You have opened your eyes to see where the problem has always been, what always caused the delays, what always caused the setbacks. You are now starting to understand that energy has always been your currency. But because you have been living around very low vibration individuals, they never wanted you to live in that particular energy. They always wanted you to live at their same vibration. So they had to traumatize you, break down your spiritual protection, and keep you in a state where you could always be in lack. That is the same reason why you have lost so much. You have lost a lot. You used to wonder you couldn't be accepted for jobs. You was always rejected all over the place. You was always feeling like you couldn't get out of bed. You always felt there was something siphoning your energy. You just didn't have a name for it. And then you chose to leave everything behind. One day you're going to look back after so many years. I'm talking about two of the people that ever chose the journey of healing. You will look back and you will surely see where you came from. And you will understand there was a point in your life when you made the right decision to start nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, because abundance is high vibrational. So you chose to start working on your vibration. The more you raised your vibration, the better you started to attract. Now you're comparing the abundance that is coming in, the relationships that are coming in, the fortune that is coming in. Your health is feeling better. You're improving day by day. And you can bear recognize that new version of you to the old version of you. Those was two different people. You can even see yourself in the mirror, and you can surely see there has been very major changes. Even your physical appearance has shifted. People find you along the way. They're like, wow, you're glowing. You're looking happier. You're looking more relaxed. You're looking more wise, more aware. That is because you have worked on your vibration. And that is what exactly is pulling in all these beautiful things. I can promise you one thing, my chosen ones. Everything you think you lost, that was your lesson. It was your lesson that you had to learn the hard way. Now that you have had that lesson and you passed your tests, you're starting to see the results and the fruits of your labor. Whatever you're doing is not in vain. Any step you walk towards yourself, any step you take towards yourself is not in vain. You're going to realize that whatever you lost has been replaced with better. You have beautiful friends. You have a wonderful community. You have better relationships. Maybe you started finding better jobs, better careers. Maybe even sometime you found your purpose. Now you are a man or woman that is living in the purpose. That is exactly the new version of you. So do not be surprised when you ever wake up one day and you take a decision to work on yourself. Do not be surprised when things start taking off for you. You will surely see the difference. It doesn't matter what life looks like at the moment. Things may be shaky a little bit. You're still healing. You're still traumatized. you're still coming out, crawling out of the deep pit, you'll get to the surface and you rise higher. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a motivation video for the chosen ones. Let us know what you think. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You can always donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find in the description below. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. There's Amos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.